Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Live. We've got a skeleton crew tonight. We've got Ed with us.
Hi.
Hi, and of course, we've got Jennifer, the blind bard.
Hey, guys. Good to see you all.
And,
pun intended.
And, we are marching steadily towards Page, but, this weekend is Gen Con weekend, and Phil's out there at Gen Con
Lucky.
representing for Page, and we've been having some conversations out there, so that's really great. But we've got a great show scheduled tonight. We've got a couple of guests. We've got Mike Saxton from Thunderstruck Workshop, and we've got Jason Vey from Elfmere Games. So it's looking good.
Amazing. It's been a while, right?
Been a while for what?
I mean, I remember Michael Saxton, but I don't know if I've ever met Jason Vey before tonight. Was he at Page last year?
He's been to Page before, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
for me, it's just been a while since I've been on the show. I've been so busy and things have been crazy. I feel bad not having seen you guys in a while.
Well, it's good to have you back with us.
Well, thanks. Hopefully I won't embarrass us all.
Oh, no, you're not going to embarrass us all, but let's go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to bring on Mike Saxton, but before we bring Mike on, we have a special little video about Mike that that Ed put together.
So these are some of the models that Mike sells, and they're ones that I put together and printed out. Hopefully they reflect well on him. They're terrific models. They're easy to print, and they're easy to paint as well. But yeah, I fell in love with that spiraling tower at Mike's booth at Page last year, and so I had to get a copy, and then that just started me down the road of doing all these sorts of things.
It was love at first sight, right?
Right, exactly.
That's so cool. Anyone who can paint is very talented.
Mm.
Welcome to the show, Mike Saxton from Thunderstruck Workshop. How are you, Mike?
Good, I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Ed, I like the video, Ed. Those portals have been a hit from the minute I brought them out. I can never keep them in stock.
I've actually got a ton of them. I'm working on some science fiction ones because they will work very well with a dark space game I'm running for Page.
Yeah, I have the full set, but I haven't printed nearly as many as you have. I see when you post yours, and I'm like, I gotta get going on that, but
well,
it's hard. I have, when you're talking 2 full booths worth of stuff to print, I can't, spend all my time printing just portals or whatever. So,
no, I know. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you, steered me in the right direction. And to be honest, your prints are nicer than mine. Your printer is nicer than mine, but I get the job done. And I always like calling out your stuff because, man, it's so easy to work with. You get them all cleaned up and ready to go. And
I don't know if you saw, but Printable Scenery just dropped a Kickstarter this week. And
oh, wow.
I forgot what it's even called, but this is all Gothic stuff. So the last one was Throne and Ash, and it was like medieval castle. This is all Gothic. And then the other half of the set, so there's this Gothic stuff, then there's the ruined versions, and then there's a whole Trench Crusade set.
But so I always figure that if it's Gothic but it's ruined, then it must be Baroque.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So they have
that's really great.
Yeah, the trench set, comes with actual trenches that go together, and it uses the same connectors that the Throne and Ash uses. And they've got regular and ruined versions, and then they have tombs that go with it. And I figured that, they'll work with any tabletop game. I'm going to make them. I'm going to print them, paint them up. And I'm going to paint up some, make some sets of the trenches too, and just bundle them up and, put a sign out there that they're, fully compatible with Trench Crusade, which I don't know. I've never checked out the skirmish games at Page. I know they're there. I've talked with like the historical miniature guys and stuff, but I've never really checked it out. So I don't know. Was anybody? I know Trench Crusade got real big last year. Was anybody playing that last year? Was anybody running it?
Yeah, there was a Trench Crusade game, and I expect Trench Crusade there this year. Okay. Probably with the guys and the gals from the Banished Zone. I think they're going to be running it. Running demos at a minimum. I know they're running Star Wars miniatures and lots of 40K. And of course, we've got a big 40K tournament there this year.
Nice.
So there's quite a bit of stuff going on.
Yeah. 40K isn't as out of my wheelhouse because those people, they love spending their money and they love being very specific. It's got to be specific miniatures, specific terrain, specific paints. It's not my wheelhouse, but
yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm on your Etsy site right now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that one you just showed me, you don't have that up there yet?
No, it's not. It's not there right now.
That looks really good, though.
My Etsy store is woefully out of date. It's been hard to this year. This year started off great. Page was fantastic in January. February was a great month, and I'm assuming. I know it's not hitting the whole industry because Kickstarters seem to be doing gangbusters here. But as for sales for miniatures and terrain this year, it died after March. It's been a very slow year this whole spring and summer. It's tough. The economy's rough and people are just not spending as much. So it is what it is. Fortunately, I'm retired. I don't need it. It's just my hobby. It makes me extra money. So I don't stress it, but it's a little, it's frustrating when you have months where you just through Etsy stores, you can have some months that, pay my mortgage. And then you have other months where I can, barely go out to dinner because sales are that low right now.
Yeah. But, is it the Darkness and Desolation series?
Yep.
I'm looking at it on your Facebook page.
Yep.
Sorry. I mean, I am listening, of course, but I'm such a big fan of your stuff that I always, when you show me something new, I always want to look it up.
Yeah, I keep on top of printable scenery. They've been a really good license to have, and I've backed every Kickstarter they've ever had. Well, with the exception of one or two that were kind of out of theme, but I've been picking them up slowly because people still want them.
Well, they're very good. Company. I've had a lot of good experiences.
What I hope to have at Page this year is some of this here. Where are we here? You see the Wild West stuff there?
Yes.
So that was a Kickstarter, and he had a commercial license that you could buy it, but I wasn't part of the Kickstarter, so I was a late backer, and I just bought the whole set. And I reached out to the guy this year and said, "Hey, listen, this is showed pictures of my boots and stuff, and this is what I do. And how can I get a commercial license for it?" And he was nice enough to basically, he was like, "Yeah, don't worry about the payment. Just go ahead and sell my stuff." And I copied all of our emails and saved it all just in case.
Yeah. No, they're good guys. I had a situation where I bought one of their Elven. Oh, yeah?
That's not them. That's somebody completely different. That's like an individual that did a whole Kickstarter campaign.
Well, that's cool. You should contact Zeb Cook, because he likes doing cowboy stuff, and maybe he could run a game using your cowboy scenery.
Yeah.
But yeah, my niece, or actually my grandniece, was down the other day, and she was looking at all my painted stuff. And you remember that really great Oasis set you did with like the tents and everything?
Yep.
She couldn't get enough of looking at that. She marveled over that.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a lot of new stuff that you guys are going to see in my booth this year. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fit it all and cordon it off. But I have the entire Wasteland set. In fact, I have the entire Wasteland set for printable scenery printed, sitting on three tables over here, just stacked. None of it's been painted yet, but it's all just sitting there. And I got to get going on that.
Devin in our chat says Mike's booth was super cool at page 3. Loved looking at his stuff. Mike likes it better that if you buy it too, Devin, not just look at it.
Looking's good, but yes, buying it was always better.
We've got Ed Lopez with us tonight, so he's waiting patiently to see if anybody gets injured during the program, so he can send out representation letters. And GM Ben is with us. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hey, Ben. Good to see you.
So, Mike, I heard a rumor earlier today that you might be planning a special event for Page. Is there any truth to that?
No.
Is there any truth to that?
No, I should have known.
Hello? Wait,
no.
May I ask what are in those are in those little bins there?
All right, so listen. I told you this story. Originally it wasn't for Page. It was going to be for another small event in December. Just something local, just something to introduce it and try it out. But I haven't gotten anywhere with it, and if I don't get it done, part of the problem is, again, you come to Page, I come with just me and my wife. It's long days running the booth and setting things up and all that stuff. So I hate to leave and take a 4-hour block to run games. If I had employees or something, it'd be different. But if I called my wife my employee, I'd probably get in trouble.
So what you're saying is you're too busy counting money at Page, so you can't get a.
If that's how you're reading that, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you though, I've mentioned this before. If we can work together and come up with a plan, I may be able to find some volunteers who'd be happy to run games using your stuff. I mean, we did it last year with the WizKids Page tournament. That was run with all WizKids stuff. We put up signs with QR codes. I'm sure we could find a couple of people who we can depend on who would run really good games with your.
So where this came about, Ron was hinting at the bins that are over here. Those bins.
I wasn't hinting. I was asking what was in those bins.
Well, so two of them are completely filled with unopened Mario Kart Hot Wheels.
Oh,
and then the top bin has a whole bunch of terrain stuff, Mario Kart related, that's 3D printed, and it's not painted because that was all printed in multicolor, so it was beautiful. I don't have to paint anything. And the Gaslands book. And what we're going to do was put together a Mario Kart Gaslands setup.
Oh, nice.
There's a local group right here, local to me, about 20 minutes away from me, that call themselves the Skirmishers Guild, and they do pretty much skirmish games. And man, there's the one guy that runs it. He goes above and beyond. Every board he makes is just phenomenal. He's doing a mix-up of oh man, I don't know what it's even called. It was some flying game. I'm trying to look it up here because he's been posting about it, and he's done a Mario Kart, he did the Mario Kart Gaslands. It has a full board. He builds permanent boards. They're multi-level and whatnot. He's doing Crimson Skies Gaslands.
Oh.
And
nice.
He's also done a Star Wars Pod Racer Gaslands. But they do other games. But, those have been real popular for him. They go to conventions. They're going to be at, Carnage Con? Is that what's coming up?
I don't know.
There's one. I don't know, man. There's one in Massachusetts or something coming up, or Connecticut, that he's going to. I tried to get him to come to Page. And, for him, he's like, he's got a little kid at home and 4 hours away, and I don't have time to do it. he's going to this,
his priorities are all messed up.
I know, but he's going to one in Massachusetts, so. But it is what it is. So I decided, well, if I can't get them to come, maybe I'll do it myself. But it's a lot of work to tackle on top of other stuff I'm doing. So we'll see if it happens or not. I bought I bought those carts. So at some point I will use them.
That's what we all say. I've still got a spinner rack full of miniatures I haven't painted.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I can print miniatures and buy miniatures and have a whole list there. These things, I mean, those carts, man. Yeah, I had to hunt like 10 different stores because they sell them at Walmart, at Target, at little different grocery stores, and they've got chase vehicles and all kinds of stuff. Some of these places are $6, $6.50 a piece. Some of them are $8. I didn't even go on to eBay because they got ones that are hundreds of dollars that are so hard to find. So I stayed away from them. But yeah, it was probably about $350 worth of Hot Wheel cars just for this game. So I'd like to use them at some point. They're still in the box. I mean, I could always resell them if I wanted to, but yeah, we collect this hobby.
Right.
Collect stuff, all right.
What do you think? Every year your display gets bigger and better at Page. People come back and they have certain vendors that they see year over year that they're excited to see, and they want to see what new stuff they have out. I mean, I put Chet Minton in that category too, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you, give us a hint of what some of the new stuff is going to be at your booth this year?
So the last couple of years, you've seen I've always had in that front table a big set piece that kind of draws people in. The problem is I had that big fort. I had the big castle this year. I had the tree fort. And what happens is those big items are pretty expensive, and they come home with me. And it's great to draw people in, but it takes up a lot of table space, and I'm transporting back and forth. So this year, I'm not going to focus. You're not going to see $1,000 items on my table, because I have found that they just don't sell well at conventions.
Right.
I've got some big spenders, but generally it seems about $500 is the limit, and we don't get too many of them, so I don't try and focus on that. I really want to focus on the under $100 items, fully painted, ready to go, because it's within reason for people, especially when they come up and there's, hey, I need a building, another house or something for my thing, and there's one already painted and it's $50, ready to go. I can take it home, put it right on my table, and it's not breaking the bank.
To be fair, you do need to have the $1,000 item and have a sign on it that says reserved for Leo.
I know. Yeah, but even Leo got my turtle. He spent quite a bit last year because that turtle, that was a nice little chunk. I got another one of them this year. Another turtle already painted up.
Nice.
And I made the alternate of it. Instead of the shop on its back, it's standing up ready to attack.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Very nice.
It stands, you can't even see. It's big.
What's the hardest thing to paint?
Ropes. They're not hard to paint, but man, some of those printable scenery things, they might have on a single piece, they might have 100 ropes on the thing that you got to hand paint every little one of them and then throw a wash on them, and it's just time consuming. I don't think any of it's difficult, but there's a lot of stuff that I look at after I finish a piece, I don't ever want to do that piece again.
Is there anything that's particularly hard to print?
No.
Oh God.
No.
Torch bearers.
yeah. Ron's little minis from his Kickstarter. This little guy's torchbearer. The torch, for whatever reason, that guy, whether it's the way that I supported it or what, it keeps breaking off. I'm printing.
Monsters with long, narrow claws and teeth.
Yeah. So Chet Minton has joined us.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hello,
Hey,
Chet.
Chet.
How are you?
Good to see you, Mike. Good. Hey, everybody.
Good to see you.
Thought maybe you'd be out at Gen Con.
No, I've never done Gen Con before for a vending or artist show. Can't do them all.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, Mike, yeah, stick with us a little bit. We're going to get our other guest on, who is Jason Vey, and he's coming right now. Jason from Elflair Games. Hey,
Hi, Jason.
You're muted, Jason. For some reason, you're muted. There you go. You got to turn off the mute button.
There we
You
go.
go.
You got me now?
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, sorry about that. I was muting it so I didn't make noise while you guys were interviewing Mike. I just met Mike and I just got to know each other.
What was going on
I'm
that
sorry?
you were worried about making noise? What was going on
I
that
was
you were
just
worried about making noise?
putzing around my office while I was listening to you guys, like,
Oh, okay.
organizing books and stuff like that. Yeah. Mike and I just got to know each other at Central New York CNYCon this year, a couple months ago. It was actually really nice to get to know him and to meet up. And I bought one of his Baba Yaga huts for my wife.
Nice.
So
Okay.
So you. Oh, go ahead.
Go
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. You were prepared with a bunch of questions. Go ahead.
Well, your first experience with gaming was, when you were really young, like age 5. What was
Yeah.
your first experience like for you?
it was. I mean, it set me on the path that I'm on right now. So I've told this story a million times, but hopefully most of your viewers haven't heard it yet. My parents used to be in a bowling league when I was little, and they would drop my sister and I off at my grandmother's house to babysit while they were at bowling. And my uncle and his friends were in high school at the time, and it was 1979, and AD&D, AD&D First Edition had just come out. And I would wander down in the basement and sit there. And one day they handed me a sheet of paper with a bunch of numbers on it that I barely understood, and a bunch of funny shaped dice. And they would tell me when to roll dice, and I would, do what they told, and they would tell me what it meant when I rolled the dice. And, I learned how to play D&D that way, and I have loved it ever since. I mean, my
Awesome.
earliest memory is seeing Star Wars: A New Hope in the theaters in '77 when I was 3 years old. So geekdom has been with me my entire life. From the time I was old enough to read more grown-up books, my dad handed me the 12-volume Ace paperback Conan series, and I got hooked there. So it all kind of came together, and
Yeah.
I've been
Wow.
in it. I've been in it. Eyeball. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you got your Elflair Games got its name from your handle, the Gray Elf. What is your inspiration behind that handle?
Man, you really did your homework.
I sure did.
My first, well, not my first, but my favorite D&D character who went through a dozen reincarnations over the years through multiple editions of D&D was a gray elf, chaotic neutral gray elf thief magic user called Die Blackthorn, and I stole the name out of a GURPS book. But the character was my favorite D&D character. He was, like I say, he was chaotic neutral, and he had an immortality complex because he cheated death so many times he thought he could never die. And the character just lived a charmed life. I got into so much trouble and somehow never died. So the Gray Elf just kind of became my thing when the internet was kind of young and we were all first getting online. I just kind of adopted it and have kept it ever since.
That's awesome.
And then my very first website, my very 90s was called the Gray Elf's Lair. So when I finally started putting out my own games under my own company, Elf Lair Games just seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Wow. I think we all know characters that, we feel that way about. So that's great.
How about
I don't
you?
even
How
know
about you?
whatever happened to his character sheet. I wish I could find it, but it disappeared ages ago. I'd give anything to find that character sheet again.
How about you, Mike? Do you have a favorite character, a standout character from over the years?
Well, that's kind of a tough one because I haven't played that many characters over the years because I've always been DMing. But yeah, when I got back so I started gaming when I was 12, 13 years old, and before that, prior to that, I still have it sitting here. So this was my introduction to D&D, but I never played this back in the day. My stepmother was a nurse, and at some party, I don't know, Secret Santa or something, gave her the Moldvay box set. But I don't know what happened to the box, but she gave me the book, asked me if I wanted it. And of course, I'm a little kid flipping through it and just totally captivated by this thing. It wasn't until 12, 13 years old, I had made some new friends and they introduced me to first edition. And it was a very short order after that they pawned off DMing to me, and that's where I stuck with it. 98 or so, when I started with my career with the state, I moved away. I had to go downstate, work in a jail down there, and transfer my way up. And I stopped playing, and I didn't play again until probably 2013, 2014. And when I got back into it, some of the old guys I used to play with were running a group of AD&D. So I got back into that. And of course, probably 6 months playing it, I played a ranger on there, probably the favorite character I've ever had. And then hunting season rolled around. The DM's like, I don't have time for this. Somebody else wanted DM. And of course, I got, that was the end of my playing. And it was back to DMing.
Oh, so you're a forever DM then?
Yeah, pretty much. A forever DM, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Who is your favorite NPC that you've played?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I don't even know if I can. I mean, I've got lots of stuff because I run a lot of homebrew stuff. So, for years I ran homebrew stuff, but I don't know, man. My world's always changing. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I have a favorite in my campaigns.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got a couple, but one that really sticks out is a very mischievous and stubborn leprechaun by the name of Danny Mahoney.
Nice.
Cool.
So you have a reoccurring comedy skit.
Yeah, well, not so much a comedy skit, and they never see him first. They always smell pipe smoke first.
Nice.
And
Nice.
there's Danny Mahoney, and he's very sharp-tongued, and he's always in the right place at the right time, and in the wrong place at the wrong time for them. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun over the years. How about you, Jason?
I definitely have a favorite NPC. I have been running a kind of a kitchen sink urban fantasy game that started as Buffy the Vampire Slayer game back in 2001, and I've been running it ever since. So we're in our 25th year of that, on and off right now. And I have a character named an NPC named Sandra Stevens, who was created just to kind of be we had a Slayer, of course, in our first season of the game, and she was created to be a high school friend of the Slayer, a foil, and she just eventually kind of got more and more fleshed out and became kind of a permanent fixture in the band. And she is a snarky, sarcastic goth girl who is, well, goth woman now because the character's in her late 30s, I would guess, in the game. But she is also inspired, which in the Unisystem is a character that gets their powers directly from heaven. So she has she can do miracles and things like that. And she's a sarcastic Gnostic goth chick. She's become a very deep and very complex character, and my players love her. And so I just keep her around, and she keeps coming back. And I converted her to
kind of like my wife. Kind of like my wife.
There you go.
She sounds fun.
She is a lot of fun. I actually converted her to a player character for somebody else's game, so I could have a chance to play her as a PC briefly. So, yeah.
How about you, Ed?
Oh man, there've been a lot over the years. A lot of the characters that have been the most fun to play have been throwaway characters that are, for some reason, ended up hanging around with the party longer than they should have. In the current campaign I'm running, there's an NPC she's a half elf, and she was brought in as kind of a merchant alchemist for this fair. And her name was Jorleen, and she kind of acts and sounds like an alchemist with that sort of name who has been using too much of her own wares. But she's actually really smart if you can get her to pay attention. And she was only supposed to be there for a couple of sessions, but then the characters really liked her, so I changed her story a little bit, and now she's the apprentice to this very powerful druid. In my world, I'm playing like a modified version of D&D 5e, but in my world, there are still only one top druid and one top monk. If you remember that from the old first edition days, there could only ever be, one grandmaster of flowers and things like that. And Jorleen is the apprentice to the top druid on the prime material plane, and the whole adventure, the whole story that's going on has to do with the druids kind of maintaining balance. And so she has become kind of a conduit for information and assistance. And as one other little thing, turns out she's actually a silver dragon who has transformed into a human.
I love that.
Well, and that's tying into another part of I usually, when I run a campaign, there's usually multiple sort of levels of conflict that all sort of eventually gets brought together. And somehow these dragons who have been, hiding around the world a lot have something to do with this whole weird druid war that's going on. And so, Jorleen has been a lot of fun to play. The players seem to be eager to see her again all the time. And when she doesn't make an appearance for a couple of sessions, they're always kind of like, well, where's Jorleen? What's Jorleen doing? And so I bring her back and everything. And it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, she's another one of those characters who wasn't supposed to be a big deal, made a guest starring appearance, but then made such a impact that, I guess she's got to get bumped to regular cast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's always the best characters, when you have one of those and your players actually ask you to bring them back. Like, what's this character doing? What happened to them? And those characters become really special.
Yeah, they do. They do. And just jumping over here to the crowd, we've got Mr. Ear Trumpets checking in from Australia. We've got George Hardy checking in from the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. Got John Schmidt with us tonight. Got artist Joey Dossel from Queens. And we've got Christian Stenzel with us here, in addition to Ed Lopez and Devin and some of the other folks that have checked in via chat. Jen, what other questions you have? I know you're loaded up for bear.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I know that you have been published with a lot of studios like Trollord and Eden and two other ones that I can't remember at the moment. But, you're no stranger to publishing your own your own stuff, and I'm just wondering, how did you break into the industry, and what does it take for an aspiring writer to break in? How hard is it?
I think those are two very, at one point in time, those questions would have been intricately connected, but I think that now they're very separate questions, because when I broke in, it was a whole different world than it is now.
That makes sense.
My first published work was for Palladium Books back in, I want to say 1999, I think it was actually. I published an article and a short story in one of their Rifter publications for Nightbane, and managed to parlay that into a full source book.
That's cool.
And I don't like to get into the whole details of that, because my relationship with Palladium ended very badly. It's all water under the bridge now. Kevin and I have kind of buried the hatchet a long time ago.
That's good, because I was just about to check how close you two were together in the vendor's room at Page. So
we buried the hatchet a long time ago. I saw him at Page last year. We didn't get to talk much, but I saw him there. And I actually bought their new TMNT
great
re-release that came out, which I'm really excited about. No, at this point, I have nothing against Kevin or Palladium or anything. It just it didn't go well 26 years ago. But after that, Eden Studios kind of kept me in the game. Things had ended so badly with Palladium that I was ready to quit game design altogether, until the guys that I had a fan page up for the Unisystem, a fan website up for the Unisystem with like house rules and stuff like that. And, here's how you do fantasy gaming with the cinematic Unisystem. And that specific one, Alex Jercott reached out to me and said, "Hey, we really liked your fantasy rules. We'd like you to write a fantasy source book for All Flesh Must."
What did you say his last? Alex? What?
Jercott.
Oh, Jercott.
Jercott.
Okay. I heard something else there for a moment. Okay.
Yeah, no. I don't even know whatever happened to Alex. I'm sure he's still out there somewhere, but I don't know that. I don't think he's involved with. But he was a super nice guy.
Okay.
I always liked him a lot. But yeah, that's really how I got into doing this regularly, was writing for Eden. I started with Dungeons and Zombies, and then I co-wrote the sci-fi source book for All Flesh called All Tomorrow's Zombies, and then I wrote the World War II source book, which was Band of Zombies. And I did some work in the background on Witchcraft and Buffy and Angel and those games, which is how I met Tim Brannon and Derek Stolting, who kind of helped me out behind the scenes now with Elflair Games. Tim was my co-author on Night Shift, which I can hold up here so people can see it. And then Tim and Derek both did some stuff on 13 Parsecs, which is our most recent release, which is our sci-fi game, which is right there.
And that's the one I am so interested in learning more about, because I love sci-fi.
Just real quick.
Yeah, it's our most recent one, and yeah, it's a toolkit game that's designed. So all three of my core games right now, which is Night Shift, Wasted Lands, and 13 Parsecs, they all run on the same rules system. They all run on the Ogre's rule system, which uses three simple mechanics: a D20 mechanic, a percentile mechanic, and what we call a rule of two mechanic, which is essentially just rolling a dice and a die and looking for one or two.
Just real quick, Christian Senzel says, got a bunch of Elflair stuff from you at EggCon and can't wait to dive into them.
Great. Yeah, EggCon was a freaking great con for me. I did really, really well there, and I was thrilled. And I fell in love with Lake Geneva as soon as I got there. It was my first time in that town.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to go
I
back
was there
next
too.
year.
It was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah. It was a lot of fun. It's a tiny con. There were only maybe 400 people there, but I did better at EggCon, I think, than I have done at any other con I've been to. Hopefully, Page will kick that up, because this will be my first time at Page as my own company. I've been there with Trollord the past couple.
Vendors seem to do very well at Page.
Yeah.
And last year we had about, was it 3,300 people? Ron?
A little over 3,000 for the
A
weekend.
little over 3,000. Yeah, and it seems like
Yeah, and I think I'm in like the indie publishers room.
Yeah, so
Page
that's
is
going to
around-
be a new
yeah.
that's going to be a new thing this year. And that actually brings me to something like an interesting topic related to Page that we've recently seen that Katahdin up in Maine was canceled.
yeah.
I was so bummed
I
about
just saw
that.
that today. Yeah.
And he had a lot going on. He had a lot of support and from the industry, but the badges just weren't selling for him. He said, and I don't want to get into the details of the number of badges, but it was, he made the right decision, for his financial well-being. But I'm happy to report that, I saw enough out of him that I immediately asked him if he wanted to join Page's staff because I felt like he had enough going on. He's got close ties to our indie gaming hub coordinator, Josh Yoder. They're good friends, and in addition to that, I know Dave from the convention scene, and he's also worked with our new managing director, Meg O'Malley. So he's coming on. He's going to be assisting with that indie publishing area, and I think
Cool.
I think that area is going to be interesting because it's kind of like set away from the vendors room, but it has its own gaming area. So it's almost like a little convention within a convention because I think all the indie publishers are going to be running at their game tables in there. And that's the way I've been scheduling it so far.
So I just looked. Jason's not in the indie publishing room. He's in the small business room.
The small business room.
SB30.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Small business room. Okay.
So you're over in the small business room. Now, different than last year, there won't be any vendors out in that hallway. It'll just be all those doors will be open. So that area is going to be open the length of the entire convention center that we're using. So that should be better for the flow there. And then some of our manufacturer and publisher partners will be set up in the main gaming hall, but all of their areas are going to be vendor and gaming. But they're going to be off to the right when you come through. So it's not going to create like a natural like river type effect where people just walk straight and keep going straight. Because that wasn't ideal last year. I'm big enough to have identified that and say, well, vendors didn't do as well last year as they've done in the past. And part of the reason is the people in the hallway were talking about how great they did. Now, depending on who you are, like we said earlier, there are certain vendors that people come and they seek out. Mike is one of them. Chet is one of them, right? Like, Chet, you had a great page, right?
Yeah, it's my best show this year.
Yeah. So
actually, EggCon was my second best show.
Yeah.
EggCon was crazy.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, Page was phenomenal for me this year. I mean, having the auction helped. I mean, the item in the auction that definitely.
Yeah,
it was the cherry on the top, though. I mean, I can't count.
I'm still kicking myself for dropping out on the bidding on that. And you want to talk about the pig of pigs. The guy who got that also managed to get another 10 of them.
Oh my God!
From the complete strategist in King of Prussia.
Wow!
And
did he pay as much for the other 10?
No.
I was gonna say.
No,
Is this the bookshelves?
Yeah,
it was the bookshelves. He paid about $9,000 for 10 of them.
Oh, okay.
But with that being said, they were beat. I mean, they were well loved.
I think the one I brought was in great shape.
That was in great shape. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
If only I could find more of them.
Well, they're out there,
Yeah,
like I've got that front facing one,
Yep.
the big one, the
I
front
like
facing
I
one.
like the one. If I found one like the one you have, I'd probably keep that one. But
You should make
Yeah.
a little 3D print of one,
yeah,
lettering.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it'd be worth quite as much.
No, but it'd be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I liberated mine, I found it in an antique shop, but it wasn't for sale. The how antique shops are often like vendor specific, like it's a bunch of vendors
Yep.
all in one big place and they're all paying their little amounts of rent. It had
like a consignment shop, basically.
it had Elvis memorabilia in it.
Yeah, so funny story with mine. I was like, so every night when I go up to bed, I got an iPad that I use it for the business, for running my Square app, but the rest of the year it sits on my nightstand. And when I go up to bed, I'll sit there and browse whatever, and until I get tired and shut it off and go to sleep. And I'm sitting there browsing through Facebook and I'm checking Marketplace, and there it is. It just shows up on Marketplace, and I knew exactly what it was. And the guy had it listed for $100. And I didn't even hesitate. I sent him a message and I said, "I'll take it. Can I come get it tomorrow?" And he's like, "Sure." And the whole day I just stressed, waiting.
Because you knew somebody was going to go to him and go, I'll give you 500. I'll get.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. That's a great story.
There it was. I went up and pulled up, and he didn't even know what it was.
That's a 4,000% markup.
Yeah. And it came out of in Syracuse. There used to be a hobby shop that was all model airplanes and stuff.
Yeah,
like the ones you fly, like the motorized, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But he had model kits and all that, and they went out of business last year. Finally, they've been operating forever. So they must have picked that bookshelf up out of the Walden Books or something when they were closing, and just used it as a shelf in their store. And the guy I bought it from, it was a storage container out in the middle of nowhere, and he did store cleanouts. He told me that store closed, and he picked it up. And
yeah, it was funny when I found the one I found. I went to the front counter. I said, "Is that vendor here? Is he, were they here? Can I talk to them?" Said no, but they got him on the phone, and we got on the phone. I was prepared to make an offer. Not, I wasn't going to go crazy, but I was prepared to make a good offer on it, depending on what they had to say. And
yeah,
guy says to me, he goes, I get on the phone. I said, "Yeah, I'm interested in that Dungeons and Dragons shelf you have." And he goes, "Well, let me tell you something. I know exactly what I got." Like, he was just not nice. He goes, "I won't take less than $250 for it. Don't even try to offer me less than $250. I said, $250 done. I'm going to throw all the stuff onto the floor, and I'm going to put it right in my truck right now. I'll pay the girl." And he's like, I said, $250. It's all good. I'm not even going to haggle. I just put it right into the back. I mean, normally I would have said something like, "Hey man, you're way low. Like I can give you a few bucks." But he was just such a jerk. I was just like, "Yep, $250, done deal."
Yeah, this guy, when I pulled up, I mean, I pull up and he's got like a box truck there, and they're unloading stuff, filling it up, and they've got like 4 doors open in the storage container, like 4 storage units, just packed with stuff, and he's just loading stuff into it. And he pulled that one out, and it's sitting there, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, and he's looking at it. I mean, and those bookshelves, I mean, they're particle board and cam locks. I mean, they were made to just put in a store. They're nothing special. That's why everybody's like, "I can't believe you got so much money." I go, "You don't understand this hobby and the collectors. They're just willing to pay. That's a piece of history to them, and they're willing to pay for it."
Yeah, for me,
I have a funny. It's a little tangential, but it's kind of sort of related with books that I saw on the shelves once. I went in and I saw a copy of Amazing Adventures there, which they had in their locked up collector's shelf for like $80 or something like that. And I called the store manager over and I went, that game is not selling for $80. And they went, who are you to say that? We know exactly what we're doing. We do our research. And I went, I'm the author of that game, and it's actually still in print. You can go to Troll Lord Games and buy it for $25 right now. Like, you know, and they were just utterly dismissive of me. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, kid, go away. How do we know? I'm like, I can show you my ID. Like, my name's right on the cover. And
Wow.
I said, I don't have a dog in that race. I'm just telling you, it's going to sit behind that door for months.
Was this one of the ones in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? There's the one of the three that are left. There were four, and now there's three. There's like a manager. He's a bit snarky in there, and you know, I'll go in when I'm in Pittsburgh, and you know, the pricing's all over the place, right? Like they've got things that are valuable that they don't have priced high at all. And then they have junk. Not to say something you wrote for Troll Lord Games is junk. Only what.
No, but it was still in print. Like,
no, I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding, of course. But sometimes they have junk and they have it way overpriced. Yeah. I mean, I went into the one time, and I got all these old play-by-mail games, right? And and when I'm looking at the labels on them, they had all been sent to Flying Buffalo in Arizona. So this was Flying Buffalo buying up everybody else's, making sure they were getting one copy of everybody's play-by-mail games in the 70s when Flying Buffalo, that was their gimmick. They were doing play-by-mail stuff. It was a massive collection. Like, I've never seen a collection of that stuff so comprehensive all in one place. All this stuff for like $2. I was like, you know, just like, I need another shopping cart. I mean, I came home with stacks of it.
Somebody recently, the one up in the North Hills here in Pittsburgh, somebody, I want to say this was maybe last summer, sold the most massive D&D collection, like AD&D and all the way up through like 4th edition stuff. Just this massive collection to that store, and for months you could go in there and just pick through it. And again, some of the stuff was just stupidly overpriced. And some of it,
I know what you're talking about. They had it sitting on rolling shelves up front because they couldn't fit it in the RPG section. It was a big collection of stuff. I bought a lot of the stuff, but again, there were some things I just had to like just be like, no way, you know, no way. No way.
Like I got an original Janelle Jacquet's here it is right here. Caverns of Thracia. And I paid like $10 for this. Yeah. You know, and it's in great condition. So
one of the
then they had stuff that like you can go on.
One of the experiences I remember having is there was this store out in the Seattle area at one point, and they had massive amounts of stuff just piled up all over the place. And you would go in and they'd have stuff that was really old, and it was still marked at whatever the cover price was. And, you know, some of it was junk, some of it might have been valuable, but you kind of ask them, it's like, why don't you put some of this stuff on sale? You're just piling up stuff on top of other stuff, or do something to move it. Now, this, of course, is back before really internet sales. So, you know, now, of course, you do have the opportunity to price something and to sell it like on an internet site or whatever, but they didn't have that. Because I remember working in a store where their philosophy was, if it's been here for more than a year, we don't want to pay taxes on it again. So they're just like, we're going to sell it.
I did at Half Price Books. I bought a bunch of Atari cartridges because I'm into like Atari and ColecoVision, like, you know, old school. You can see behind me. That's Atari 2600 Berserk running on my ColecoVision behind me. But I bought. They had one of the Atari like game centers there that was loaded with like 40, 50 games on there, and they had it priced at like $75, which wasn't a terrible price because the empty game centers go for around 40 or 50 by themselves on eBay. But I said to the manager, "Will you take an offer on that?" She said, "Well, I mean, we usually don't. Why? What are you thinking?" I said, "Well, I'll give you $60 for it." And she said, "Well, I mean, it's only been here for a month." I said, "Another way to put that is it's been sitting on your shelf for a month."
Yeah.
And she took the $60. So
Yeah.
I got like all these. Yeah, I must have gotten like, Atari games with the Atari Game Center. So you can get good deals there, but in this case, it was ridiculous. And I came back 2 weeks later, and they had the Amazing Adventures book out of the collectible shelf and properly priced on the regular.
Yeah.
game
Well,
shelf.
that's
So,
good because you gotta, there are a lot of opportunities in the Pittsburgh area to buy used and out of print games.
Yeah.
You have both two Phantoms of the Attic that carry them. The one I think I've wiped out pretty good. The one, not the one that's on the second floor of the building. Like I'm
that's
friendly with
the Oakland one is the big one. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other one that is kind of like more a comic book shop, they bought a few massive collections a couple of years ago, and I pretty much wiped them out. Like they still have stuff, but it's all the stuff they priced wrong. And it's going to be there forever. Like nobody's paying $125 for a pastel D3 that has water stains on it.
Right.
I
don't know who runs the gaming shop now, because I know Jeff, who used to own both of them. He sold off the gaming shop to somebody else, and he runs the comic shop now. And Jeff's a super nice guy. But
the guy who owns the one in Oakland, the one upstairs.
Yeah, these are both in Oakland. They're across the street from each other. One is a gaming store, one's a comic store.
That guy's a nice guy.
Super nice guy.
And unfortunately, his longtime girlfriend, who was like a fixture in the store every time you walked in there, she was like working in there. Went in there one day, she wasn't there, and I kind of was like, "Hey, where's your helper? She's always in here," and she had died.
Yes. Yeah, I remember when she passed.
It was like a freak. It was like not like a freak thing, but realized she had an illness and away she went. And he's but that guy's a real good guy. He actually has done a lot for Page over the years in terms of promoting Page. But then another store out there is Game Masters, right?
Yep.
And you go in there, you see Phil, who's Jen. That's the blind guy who owns the game store out there.
You got to get there one of these days.
But they're
super nice guy, great store.
It's great until you want to buy something out of the used bin. Then it's not so great because he doesn't have prices on anything. So he goes, well, what kind of condition is it in? And I go, well, it's so-so, or it's good, or it's great, or whatever. Then he calls his wife. He's on the phone with his wife. Okay, this is what it is. Here's the code. She's just going on to eBay and trying to figure out what to tell him to charge, right? So, and Phil knows his stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't know the pricing anymore. So I got to go, hey, Phil, that's not realistic, and I'm not paying. If I wanted to pay what the asking price is on eBay, I would already own those.
Anytime I see a store where their stuff isn't priced, I'm just done. I don't want to ask. I don't mind if it's like
we have
a place where you can haggle, but
we're blessed here.
What's that?
Usually, if something's not priced, that means that. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say we're blessed in this town because we have a bunch of really, really cool gaming stores.
Games Unlimited. Games Unlimited's a good one.
Yeah, Games Unlimited. There's a small one in Bethel Park called Drawbridge Games. It's run by my friend Rico.
I've been in there. Yeah.
I'll have to check that
Super
out.
guy, really nice store. His RPG section is very small because he focuses heavily on board games and miniatures.
Mhm.
But he does have a nice little RPG section, and he can order anything you want. You know, super nice guy. And then we have, they're more of a chain, but in Robinson Mall, there's Four Horsemen, which is gigantic
Yeah.
game store.
Yeah, but it's
And it's everything's retail, and there's it's more, it feels like a chain store.
it's
when you walk
everything.
in.
It's you can anything you can get there, you can get anywhere else is the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know,
There's
the
nothing,
reason
you're
I
not
like
going to go there and find treasures.
the reason I like Games Unlimited and Game Masters and the two Phantoms of the Attic and even the half price books is because you're going to be able to find stuff that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's a store called Pittsburgh Comics and Gaming, I think they're called, that are down by the waterfront, and that's a place where you go to find treasures.
I've been there. Yeah.
when you say down by the waterfront, are you talking about the Strip or where are we talking about?
No. It's actually called the Waterfront.
Okay.
Shops at the Waterfront.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in East near. My brain's blanking on the neighborhood right now. Homestead.
Oh, okay,
Homestead,
sure.
Homestead.
Okay.
So I have to
And
ask this very
It's
important
just a
question.
huge, like, multiple strip malls.
Since I have to ask this very important question, since my wife and I used to like going out to Pittsburgh at least a couple of times a year, and I've got to figure out a way to get out there again this year. What are your 3 favorite restaurants? Low, middle, high, like I don't know, pricing or fanciness or whatever. 'Cause
Well, I don't do
love
fancy. I don't
Yeah,
do
okay,
fancy.
then low and middle. I
But
love
do,
a lot of the
so
Pittsburgh
for me,
restaurants.
I think if you're coming to Pittsburgh, you got to go to Permane Brothers. And a lot of people in Pittsburgh, it's become trendy to turn their nose up at Permane Brothers, but I love Permane's, and my wife and I go there all the time.
Been there several
and then
times, yeah.
We are regulars at Eaton Park, which is a local diner chain here, which is great. And if you go to Eaton Park, you go to their Smiley Cookie. Yeah. And then we have some of the best, if you like Indian food, Pittsburgh has some of the best Indian restaurants you will eat anywhere. And there are 2 specific Indian restaurants. One is called Mint, and it's on Banksville Road. And the other is called Jalsa, and it's in Carnegie. And they used to be
I don't
owned by
think
the
I've ever had Indian food out in Pittsburgh.
So we have a massive Hindu community in Pittsburgh because of the geography of our area with the 3 rivers and Mount Washington, and we actually are the home of I believe it was the very first Hindu temple in North America, the SV Temple, out in Penn Hills. So we have a huge Hindu community, and
I usually end up focusing on the Eastern European stuff because you've got a lot of that as well. Like
we do.
And
up on Polish Hill. If you want pierogies, is a very Pittsburgh thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I would go with the Indian food.
Yep.
I love Indian food, and we recently had a place, Sanook's over here, and it actually closed, and it's like now I'm craving it and I can't get it.
Well, you know, I have places I like to eat over there. Right by Phantom of the Attic, there's a Taiwanese restaurant that's outstanding right there.
Even better.
I saw that.
It's right next door, and the food's very good, and that's great. But almost anywhere in Squirrel Hill, any of those small restaurants there in Squirrel Hill
there's
are
a ton
good
of good
as well.
places in Squirrel Hill. Yeah.
We always like going to Church Brew Works.
Church Brew Works is good. I actually bartend at a microbrewery called Mondays in Greenfield. And if anybody's ever in Pittsburgh, please come out to Mondays in Greenfield and have a beer. And we share a space with a restaurant called Smashed and Fried, and they have. I mean, you can tell by the name what they offer.
Well, next time I'm out there, I will.
Yeah.
Next time
I'm
I get
gonna have
out
to
there,
tell
I
my
will ping
husband
you
because he loves that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are lucky listening to you guys. We don't have there's nothing for good game stores in the Syracuse area.
Oh,
Nothing.
that's too bad.
There's not
We-
much in
we've
New
got it.
Hampshire either.
We've
I-
got a couple.
I agree with you, Mike, because when I've been up in that area,
There's nothing.
yeah, I'm not
I-
real impressed with there's that one big store. I don't remember what the name of it is.
There's a store. Play the game, read the story.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah,
They've
it's
got
okay.
one. They've got a store in Destiny, and they've got a store like 2 miles away. Their main store on Clinton Street, and they're big stores, but everything is retail, MSRP or higher. You're not finding any deals there. They don't seem to take in trades, so you don't find used stuff very often.
I was spoiled growing up in northeastern PA, right over the border in Johnson City. We had Fat Cat Books, which was a wonderful store up in Johnson City. It's changed hands a few times now. It basically had been passed down to like various managers. But there used to be, I can't remember the name of it. There used to be a good game store up in Ithaca, New York, which probably doesn't exist anymore. But Ithaca is not too close to Syracuse, is it?
Probably about an hour away.
It's striking distance. For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, so I grew up in, it's called Auburn, New York. It's probably
Yep.
about half an hour from Syracuse. Auburn, that's where I was born and raised and grew up there most of my life. I've been here 10 years now, and I'm outside of Syracuse. I'm not in Syracuse. I'm in a
How
small
close
little
is that to Buffalo?
town. I'm get on the thruway 2 to 2.5 hours from Buffalo.
Okay.
Even though I grew up in PA, when I was in marching band in high school, we used to compete in the New York State Field Band Conference, and we used to have our championships at the Syracuse Carrier Dome every year.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's not the Carrier Dome anymore. It's
what's it called now?
I forgot what it's even called. It's not even a dome anymore.
Oh, really?
They took the roof off. It's got a hard roof on it now.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, they removed the dome from it, the inflatable dome. It's I'll tell you what, I was there for my wife's old job used to be sponsors every year for one of the games and for their football games. We went for the SU game where they played, was it North Carolina? And it was like one of the biggest games they ever had. We went in that place with the new hard roof on it. It is the loudest place you've ever been in. It is so, and they're doing concerts again there. And the concerts, everybody says it's horrible because it echoes so bad with that new roof in it. But yeah, I don't know. I found there's a lot of real little game stores around me. I didn't even know they were around. I found like 4 new ones today, just Googling and looking them up, all because of this stupid game right here. This game, probably never even heard of it. Sorcery. They did a Kickstarter on it some years back in 2023. It is a card game, kind of similar to Magic the Gathering, but better. And I know that would be a controversial
That's
statement.
what Phil would say about Spellfire.
Really? Spellfire?
Yeah,
Well-
exactly. That's everybody else's reaction too.
Yeah. So this game is absolutely fantastic. I found a local store that's mostly a sports card store that had these starter kits. That's what that box was. And there's 2 different starter kits. And then there's 3 sets for it. And I actually found them and had to order them online. It's very hard to get. It's really weird because the guy that makes it, it's super successful. They're selling out constantly. You can't keep the stuff in stock. But he's not pushing really hard to get it in the stores. There's no stores in Syracuse that carry it. I have to order it online.
Well, it's very similar. Listen, it's very similar to the situation with Monolith and the Conan RPG, right? Like they don't sell to distribution, and when their U.S. hub sells out, like the stuff is just dried up. You can't get core rule books.
Yeah.
And people were like murdering for them, but so. I remember when it went to Kickstarter, the competition to buy one on the secondary market, because a lot of people buy Kickstarter stuff and then immediately try to flip it
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yep.
Okay, you're not making a ton of money when you do that, but on the Conan game, they were making a lot of money. I mean, they were like tripling their money because people just wanted the physical rule book. And it's interesting. It's very interesting, and I talk to Matt John online, maybe every other day. We chat a lot, and even
He's a good guy. I like Matt.
even he has some difficulties getting answers out of the mothership overseas, and I'm just.
I've always kind of felt like Monolith was a Kickstarter company. Like their entire business model is just predicated on we're going to do a Kickstarter and sell everything we can on Kickstarter, and we don't give a shit what happens after the Kickstarter campaigns. That's how that's the impression I've always gotten off of Monolith, and I could be way off the mark there, but that's what it seems like, the way they do their, and if that's what they want to do, that's fine. That's their business model and it works for them, but that's how it always felt to me.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you there, but with that being said, you have a game that people are keenly interested in. Keep the damn thing in stock.
Yeah.
And especially, it's not like it's cheap. You're paying $80 for a hardcover.
Right.
That's what they're selling it for, and then you're paying shipping and everything else.
Is that what the current Conan RPG is going for? $80,
$79. Yeah.
Horrible. Holy shit! I didn't pay anywhere near that much in the Kickstarter campaign.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what they're selling it at. If you want a set of the Conan Wheel of Pain dice, $23 for a set of dice, or a set and a half, I'll call it. And people are paying it. Like, they're happy to pay it, and
I noticed. Yeah, I've noticed that custom dice amounts of money these days. And I wish.
Yeah, I think that's higher.
I don't know.
It's higher than they should. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to offer custom dice for my games to my customers, and I'm kind of talking with Chessex right now about having it done. But it's like, if I got to charge my customers $40 for a set of dice to make any profit, I'm not going to sell dice.
Well, that's what makes it tough. Like we do custom dice for Page, and I wanted to work with some of the dice people we have in house, so to speak. The vendors that we've had. It's not possible. They're not getting the numbers, the pricing they need to be able to sell it to us at a price where we can sell it to the attendees. And I remember on a couple of occasions having to say, I can't in good faith ask customers to pay this amount of money for these dice. I can't. And they weren't even like really,
right.
They weren't even really branded. It was more like the packaging was branded, but not the dice themselves. Right. And I was like, we're not going to do that anymore. Yeah. So, but you know what? We've done pretty well with these guys here. I don't know if you're going to even be able to see this, or if it's going to be, but I got that upside down.
Yeah. And who's making these dice, Ron?
Ancient Chinese Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Can't reveal that.
Yeah, now it wasn't super easy to see, but that's the Page logo on it, right?
That's the Page logo, yes.
It is. I've seen them in person. It's really easier to see.
Oh yeah, listen, they did a great job on the logo. Everything's perfect. We've got matching polyhedral dice to go with them. They were a big hit last year. They really were. The sets were a big hit, and I suspect this year's set's going to be a big hit. But you'd rather work with like I do a lot of business with Mike, right? I'd rather work with somebody who I'm already doing business with in one way or another. Like, he's spending money on a booth. I want to give him business, period.
Sure.
Right.
Not really able to do that with the dice people, on this level. I haven't been able to do it. So we had to go to a bigger.
Well, dice are expensive. I remember when we were looking into getting custom dice when I got married, and I really wanted to.
Did your husband make you go on the cheap for your wedding?
God, no. I had a totally D&D themed wedding. It was super geeky. I loved it.
Well, but you didn't have custom dice?
Well, we did, but they weren't they were just like Chessex, and it was in our colors, so like navy blue.
Okay.
But it didn't say like John and Jen or anything. It was just, because to do that, each set would have been like $14, and we had 71 people. So, and most of the people didn't even take their favors.
We didn't do full sets of dice, my wife and I, at my wedding, but we had D6s made by Chessex with custom, the face on the 6 was, a pair of maple leaves with our names and the dates and stuff like that. And we gave those away as favors. But again, a lot of people didn't take them. And we had our friend Ken, we caught him going around and stealing the dice off of all the tables. he ended up with like 60 D6. And at one point in time, my wife was complaining that she only got like 2 D6, and he went, "Oh, here, have some." And he threw her like a handful of dice that he had stolen from our wedding. Like, yeah.
Oh, wow. We had like mini place cards with like a mini character sheet, and then we had pencils on the table, and like all sorts of like explanations on how you play the game, so people could do it if they wanted. It was a lot of fun.
Another question for Chat. Chat, can you hear me?
Chat or chat?
Chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For you.
I go ahead.
Question: did you with your artwork, do you do traditional hand painting or is it digital, or do you do both?
Well, I can do both. So right now, I mainly do pencil and ink traditionally, and then color digitally.
Okay.
Just because of the quickness, the demand, and what people are looking for. But I do paint traditionally. I do acrylics. I do watercolors, gouache.
Isn't that one of your paintings behind you?
Yeah, that is. I've got that one that he's got behind him.
The one below it. The one below it.
This one here is actually a print.
Oh.
It's my Red Riding Hood. It's just in a decorative frame.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious because when I got into this game here, one of the things that really drew me to it was the fact that they only do hand-painted artists.
Yeah.
They don't do digital. There's no AI, and they're sticking with it. It's hand-painted only. And they've gotten a bunch of old Magic the Gathering artists to come over. They've got Jeff Easley does it. They had a bunch of Frazetta artwork for their first set. It was really cool to see it because, like when you look at modern games now, a lot of them, they've just switched over and it's just digital. And we know that Watsu's been known to have AI, artwork in some of their products and whatnot. So,
when I was hired by Gygax magazine, it had to all be traditional sources.
That's good.
Yeah.
So Chet, you also do cartography.
Yes, Ron, I have not done the map for you yet.
When you're doing your cartography, are you using pencil and pen, or are you doing it digitally?
Cartography I do always with pencil and pen.
Oh, okay. Where are you? Yeah. Where's your pencil and pens?
They're actually right over here.
Oh, good.
That's my downstairs studio over here.
Oh, that's good.
Versus my upstairs studio.
That's good.
So, Chet, are you are you going to be the artist for the Page Book of Adventures?
So I'm going to do one of the covers. Then we're going to use Joey Dossel for one of the covers. We have several great artists for the interior. We have Chandra Ryer, who's done artwork for us before, Joey Dossel, and there's a few other ones that, like Mike Greer, will be doing some artwork for us.
Stan.
And right now we have to organize what we need and stuff like that. But yeah, we should be able to have more artists in addition.
I don't know the
Yep,
I don't know the others, but
we got some more.
Joey does great stuff.
Yeah, Joey's.
We got some more submissions in. I have to go over them. Things have been a little crazy the last couple of weeks, but I'm spending some time with it this weekend. Spend a little time with it this week. Most of the stuff we've been getting in is usable in one form or another. Got to reach out to a few people for some
Way to
clarifications.
sell it, Ed. Way
Yeah.
to sell it. The stuff
Well,
we're
it's gonna
getting
be
is-
great.
I mean, it's usable. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be great.
It's like when you go into a
God.
restaurant and you say, "What's good?" and the waitress goes, "It's all
Yeah.
edible."
Yeah.
I think
Well,
interpretations
the thing is,
of what
from-
one encounter
Well,
is different.
You got to go from raw material to published product, and it doesn't happen
Yeah.
instantly.
Well, how about
Gotta-
I heard a Jennifer Cash submitted an adventure.
I did.
Yep, I'm going to be looking at that one probably tomorrow.
Oh, good. Yeah, let me know if there's anything I need to.
Let us know if that qualifies as usable.
We'll see.
I hope so, because that encounter is going to. That was the impetus for the game I'm running at Page.
So you did it drunk, is what you're saying.
No, I took that encounter and I built it out to make
Awesome.
it
That sounds great.
full adventure.
Of course, I'm teasing, Jen.
Oh, I know.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chet, tell us more about your cartography skills.
What do you want to know? I prefer doing isometric maps versus aerial view maps myself.
Yeah. And what are you working on now?
Right this minute, I'm sitting here listening to you bust my balls.
You know,
Okay, this is going to be a dumb question, but for someone who doesn't have a lot of vision, what's the difference between isometric and aerial view?
So the isometric is looking at a 2/3 angle downwards towards the plane, versus the aerial is directly above, looking down,
straight down.
straight down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the old graph and paper,
Yeah.
the original type of mapping is the aerial.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ravenloft second edition did a lot of isometric stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ed, you might like this one. I had this thing made up for me on Lulu. It's the re-up version, which is basically combining a bunch of the books together with new artwork and whatnot. But since it's out of print, it was a nice, easy way. I think this book cost.
That's nice.
I think the book cost.
You still give me credit
Oh yeah,
in
you're
there?
credited in there. It's listed under.
Very good.
It's listed under the re-up team for the revised, expanded, and updated, and then previous edition designers, and it has you all listed.
It says usable designer Ed. So,
Usable designer, yeah.
It's usable.
It says,
I got a
says
bunch of
adequate.
stories about working on
Says
stories, I'll
adequate
tell you.
designer Ed. Yes.
So Lulu, is that like
lot
is
of
that like
stories.
another platform where you can
What?
sell your
Did I
books?
say Hulu?
No, you said
Lulu.
Lulu.
Oh, Lulu.
No,
Yeah,
Lulu,
yeah,
Lulu,
Lulu. Yeah, Lulu. That's you can. They print books.
Oh,
and I think they do a really good job too.
They actually do.
They
Yeah.
do. Their quality
make
is
a
really.
mistake-
It's
Yeah,
better than
I find
Drive-Thru,
their
think.
quality to be easily on par with what you get from Drive-Thru RPG, and it's much more user friendly to set up on a Lulu file. I sell my
And if you
PDFs.
get a
I've
bad
never
book-
heard of them before.
Yeah, I sell my PDFs through DTRPG, but anything I do print on demand goes through Lulu. I don't use DTRPG
Yeah.
VOD because it's a nightmare.
I'm not going to pull the whole stack out, but I've got like 12 books that I ordered. They're all Dark Sun. This one is just the campaign guide, and it basically took everything from second edition and I think some third edition stuff and combined it all into one book. But it's all the second edition rules. And I've got a whole shelf of these, like pretty much everything you could want for it. I mean, of course, I've got the box sets to go with it and all, but I kind of like having it all in one tome there. I could throw on the table when I play. And I haven't had a problem printing this stuff with them. I tell you now, if you get it and there's a problem with the cover or something, just suck it up and deal with it, because if you call it out and tell them, they're going to tell you, nope, it's copyrighted material, so we're not going to reprint it for you.
Yeah,
And
they
I
won't
get
give you
that.
they won't give you shit for doing yourself for your stuff if it's copyrighted. But if you contact them and say there's a problem with this, they're going to go look at it and go, well, you're printing illegal stuff,
Yeah.
so you should.
Yeah.
Which
if you're printing
if you
one
legally
copy,
own it, it's not illegal. But yeah,
right. If you're printing one copy for yourself, they don't really care. But as soon as you call attention, or you decide, hey, I'm going to order 20 copies of this, I'm going to sell it, they'll cut you off right there.
they'll cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Which
it's
they
as
should.
a business, I have a number of my POD projects for Elflair Games for sale through Lulu.
Now, do you have to jump through any hoops to prove to them that you're the author for that? No.
Nope, not at all.
So it was easier for you to prove you were the author to Lulu than it was at Half Price
There
Books.
you go.
Yeah.
Half price, yeah. Lulu took my word for it more than Half Price Books did.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. Like, they should have taken your word.
Yeah.
So Jen, what are you
I
drinking
had that happen
tonight?
a couple
What
times.
is Jen?
Yes. No,
What
I was.
is- What is on your alcoholic list?
This is Lafroig 10-year,
Oh boy.
but I'm more interested in Jason's story.
What the hell? I actually had a second
Yes.
issue with the same thing with Half Price Book, but it was for a Green Ronin game. It was for their whatchamacallit, their fantasy game, Green Ronin's Fantasy Age. They had a copy of Fantasy Age in their locked cabinet, and they wanted $100 for it. And I tried to tell them it was still in print, and they dismissed me. And I actually reached out to Chris at Green Ronin, and he thought that was hilarious. He just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. So
Wow. And I have to apologize to you
yeah, I'll
because
tell you what. It's like,
I remember you now. I didn't put you together with Amazing Adventures. But I remember
Okay.
I remember being on the program and Ron like speaking very highly of it, and I just never put you guys together.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I did?
Yeah,
Oh,
You-
okay.
you did.
Amazing Adventures? Are you sure?
You gave
Ron,
copies
just
away.
accept it and say, yeah.
It's my turn for Ron to bust my balls now.
Where's Chuck Cumbo at so I can, I noticed he's not.
Probably at Gen Con with Troll Lord.
I don't know. None of the pictures I've seen.
I don't know if Chuck might not have gone. I don't know,
Well,
but I know Troll Lord's at Gen Con.
It's
right
11
now.
o'clock on the East Coast, so he's at a bar somewhere.
Oh boy. All right. So what questions do we have from the crowd? I have a feeling there's something up with the chat tonight because nothing comes through and then like a bunch come through at once. So I think there might be some sort of lag going on.
Yeah, I'm having the same issue.
I'm noticing.
Yeah,
that.
I'm having the same
Yeah.
lag issue on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all the questions in chat. But because I don't know if they're all posted here. But if there are any questions, shoot them out here for those who haven't asked questions yet. You can put some questions in. Jen's getting ready to yawn. I see it.
No,
It was very close.
I have a lot more questions to go.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions specifically for?
Close because you don't want people to see it. I do it all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I totally do that.
Oh yeah.
And
Jen,
it's like, I don't even like it. It just happens,
I'm going to ask Mike a question since I brought it up a while ago about the idea of having a GM run a game at Page using his stuff. What sort of game would you like to see somebody run using your, any of your materials? What would you like to see run?
I don't know. I mean, I've got so much variety of stuff that I print. I mean, you can pretty much do anything.
Sure, but would you rather see, I don't know, an epic fantasy game? Would you like to see a big battle? You were talking about getting into the whole Trench Crusade stuff. Is there something that you would really like to?
I'm not actually getting into the Trench Crusade stuff myself. I just figured it works, because that's their newest set.
Yeah.
And it's gotten popular, right now. So I figured I'll print some. It's weird because, I'm kind of like Ron in one respect. I've been a 2E guy for a long time. 2E is my bread and butter. I've got 2 bookshelves full of books. And I haven't run a game or played in a game this year. Everything's been put on hold. My game's on hold. It's part of it's a little bit of burnout, which, kind of caught up with me this year. But I have, I've been expanding. So I don't know if you can see it, but I have, a couple One Ring boxes. I've got Call of Cthulhu. The actual last game I ran was Delta Green.
Okay.
I want to get Twilight and Walking Dead on the table at some point. I've got all kinds of other stuff. I've got Darwin's World, which is the post-apocalyptic game made for Savage Worlds. So I've kind of been spreading out to different things. So I don't know. I mean, I love the Wild West stuff. I've got the post-apocalyptic wasteland stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could go for anything. I just, no matter what it is, I enjoy making it and seeing it put to use on a table.
Right. Well, I'm going to reach out to a couple of people who I think would do your stuff justice. Maybe we can get something worked out.
Well, let me know. I have nothing at all scheduled until Page. I am printing like crazy right now because I have quite a bit of product now built up between what came home from Page, what came home from Such in New York. I've got a lot of stuff ready to go. I'm probably going to have too much stuff. I got to manage to fit it all in my truck at some point. But yeah, I'm spreading out. I've got, let me see if I can grab one of these here. One thing that people have told me that they wanted more of that I never have is ships for ship combat type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The problem with ships is especially the stuff from printable scenery is that it all requires dowels for your masts, and then they use rope for rigging, and they give you all the parts to go with it, but then you still have to have the dowels, paint them, put them, glue the dowels in, and do the rigging. And it's unfortunately it's just way too much to try and transport because once you rig one of them up,
that's weird because a couple of the ones that I have, they had printable. Ooh.
There's something Mike printed and painted there from my Conan game last week.
Straight up set.
Ron, you have a lot of stuff I've made for you over the years.
Yeah, but this is all coming into play because I'm running a Conan game now.
Right.
I play in one and I'm running one, and this was an old temple site that had been ruined, and basically that was the only thing left standing, and the party went there to cause some trouble, and they did. They managed to drive the worshippers of Set away and drive them back further into Stygia. So, yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, I think I definitely want to have some ships this year. This is one of them, and this is one. This is just I'm holding it together because it's in pieces right now. It's kind of hard to show, but it's like
Yeah, I see it.
it's got the the whole the squid based, and then there's actually a flying version of this one that literally just sits up with a stand that it goes on top of. There's a lot of
printable
ships.
scenery piece.
Yeah, there's a bunch of these types of ships that don't have the masts and all that stuff, so I can just put it together, and it's easy to transport and bring. If I put together one of the big ships and then put the masts on it and all the rigging on it, I got to have this enormous box just to try and pack it in, and it's just going to be impossible for me to bring much of that with me.
The ship I have, you can just pull the rigging off and put it back on when you need it.
Yeah, the printable scenery ones, what they do is they've got a whole rigging guide for it. And on the sides of the ship, they'll have all these loops where the rigging goes through on the sides, and they run up to the mast. It's all tied. So once you put it together, you're supposed to, pull it tight so it's stretching it from each direction and tie it all down. And it's great. I could do the kit, and I could sell the kit if somebody wants to take it and put the rigging together themselves and do all that. But to actually have fully rigged ships to sit on my booth, it'd be it would just take up too much space, I think, just transporting it alone, because they'd have to be in quite a big box. So I've kind of shied away from them. But there's a bunch of other ones that I'm looking at now that I'm like, okay, those ones can work. Those ones I can get printed up, painted, packed up fairly efficiently so I can bring it. I've really tried in the last 2 years. Anything that I bring, I'm trying to get everything individually boxed now, rather than throwing it all in a bin, boxing it. So that way, when you buy a piece from me, it can go right back in the box with the packing. So if you need to walk up to the front of page and, have it shipped out, you can, or you want to go to the post office on your own, or you want to shove it in your luggage. It's safely packed up in a box, so I've been trying to do more of that.
Cool.
You buy a big fragile 3D printed piece of stuff and I throw it in a bag for you, and you got to carry it and try and take it on a plane. It's just, it's tough. You run the risk of things breaking. Anytime I get somebody like that tells me, I got to bring it on a plane and this and that, and we don't have a good way to transport it, I always tell them, listen, once you get home with it, if there's any problems, if a piece broke or something, send me a message and I'll send you a replacement for it. It's nothing to print another little piece like that. But, yeah, I know. You got, it's not that it's easy to write the books, but man, selling the books, you guys just, hey, order a bunch of more books because we got another convention, and throw the boxes in your car and off you go.
That was always one of the funny things.
It's not always that easy to order another bunch of books because they take time at the printer. But yeah,
or you could be
people
like
don't
Troll
have to
Lord.
worry about my plane,
or you could be like Troll Lord. Your books don't show up.
Oh,
But yeah, 2 years ago at Page, we didn't have any product for like the first half of the day.
I felt bad. I went out to my truck to get some water, and I came walking back in with like a whole backpack full of water, and I see Steve just sitting there all by himself at the table with nothing. And I walked over and I'm like, Steve,
and it sounded like, and then you heard this. Well, Steve, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I ordered the stuff, Steve. It should be here. I don't know what the problem is.
That's a good Chuck impression.
No, what happened was the shipping company was actually holding our shit hostage. It was there in Philadelphia, and they were trying to extort like $900 out of Steve to release the product, is what was going on. It was ridiculous.
That's awful.
But what was funny about it is I was talking to Steve on, I think it was Wednesday night. It was the day before the con actually started. And he says to me, he goes, "I'm telling you what's going to happen. If our shit doesn't get here tomorrow, you and me are going into Philly, and we're going to see the Liberty Bell, and we're going to see the art museum, and we're going to be." He was like, if our shit doesn't show up, we're just going to go be tourists. So, but the stuff showed up. By the time my first session was done on Thursday morning, it was all there and set up, and it all worked out. But yeah, we always joke that it's not a Troll Lord convention if there's not some sort of misadventure. So,
Well, tell Chuck this year maybe he should bring like actual banners and signage and stuff this year.
Oh, you don't have
shots fired.
You don't have to worry about that, because I told him and Steve loud last year, I'm like, you can't have a featured space without banners or promotions. Like,
You got to have something.
you can't do that. Like, you can't just put a bunch of books out on the table. I know, but what we were fixing on doing. Yeah. So no, they got it. But I think they learned a little bit last year. Look at the way Monty Cook went to business there. They had a beautiful setup. This year, you got Luke Stratton from Limithron coming with the boat. He's bringing the boat.
Nice.
So
That's going to be awesome.
yeah, there's over 100 hours of Pirate Board on the schedule.
I've never tried that game, but
I'd be remiss. I know we got a few things going on here, and let's see. I think we got some people. Oh, Troy Allman from Cannonball Publishing swung by, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple things here. Here's the first one. That what you're looking at is the inside of the page cargo trailer, which is a pretty big one. So Chip Miller donated his time, and for those who don't know Chip, he spent some of his time inside the owlbear costume last year, working to put a new floor down and to beef up the inside walls of that thing. Now we've got ratchet straps and everything. We've got ratchet strap channel, wall protection, new 3/4-inch plywood on the floor. The page cargo trailer is ready to go. That's one thing. And then here's another thing. And we talked about this a little last week on the show.
No, what's the cargo trailer for? Is that so you can drive to New York and pick up my stuff and bring it down for me?
Well, that's how we get like the board game library there, all our banners, all our TVs, TV stands, PA systems, auction stuff, all our signage, all those things have to go into a trailer, right?
Yeah.
And especially the board game library. Now, this is another thing here. This is Stephen Reeder's. It's an up-close picture of Stephen's diorama that he put together for the convention, and worked with Ralph Partha Legacy to get the models, and he handcrafted the terrain there. So that is now in our possession and is ready to go into the auction.
Nice.
So
Cool.
Yeah, and if we didn't see this yet, we have so many Conan guests there this year, from Jim Zub to Jeff Shanks to Sean Curley to Mark Finn, Matt John, Zeb Cook. So we've got the Cananza pins are in, and they're nice. They're metal. They're nice sturdy pins. So we're a lot of the stuff starting to come together and really coming into view as we head towards this upcoming Friday's opening day of event selection for the new supporting patron badges.
God, I wish I had one. I think the game I want is going to be gone by the time I get to.
What's the game you want?
Oh, I think it was something with Bob Worldbuilder.
Yeah,
I think it's like the
that'll be
only game.
That'll be gone in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are certain games that'll be gone. Like I'm going to be listing Zeb Cook's games this week. They won't last. They won't last the first 2 minutes. Now it's a little different this time because there's only 24 of those supporting patron badges out there. It's when the gold badges come into play the following Friday. That's when it's going to be like sharks.
Oh yeah, we already have our schedule planned out.
Crashed the website last year.
Yep.
That's why we had to relaunch a second day because so many people were refreshing to see if the events were available. The website thought it was a denial of service attack and shut it down.
Well, what people do is they open several tabs up and they have every single game set up.
Yes,
so then
I know.
they're clicking each one so they can get every single game.
Well, you know what people have learned, and I'm going to be all over this year with our staff. They learned that they can put stuff in their cart and not necessarily pay for it, but it takes it off the board. And it was doing it with badges this year. Like somebody had 4 supporting patron badges in their cart, like holding them hostage. So I had to physically go in and release the badges. So, yeah, people are getting slick with that. But you know what? If that's the level of enthusiasm that we have for the show, I'm okay with it. I mean, people are really hyped for the show.
Because it's a great show.
They're pretty excited about the show too. Oh, there's Neil in the chat. He's here.
All right.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah. So Neil was nice enough to send me another video, so we had that alternate video, the hyped video for. Yes, he says he's excited. He's very excited. So, what a good guy. Salt of the earth right there.
Neil is an awesome guy. I love seeing him. I love, being at the different cons and he's there. He's definitely a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Now, Chet, there was some scandal at EggCon. Do you want to go into
At
that?
Concoction or EggCon? At
EggCon, there was some scandal that occurred.
Which one?
Well, there was a certain lady appeared in your room suddenly during the live stream on camera.
Oh, I remember this.
I didn't see the live stream. I was involved in a game.
Our friend of the show and a very popular person, Heather Ashcraft, needed a bed, and Ron and I gladly gave her the bed that Ron would have had, and it was a no-brainer. I mean, more than happy to take care of our fellow gamers, and she didn't have to drive an hour and 10 minutes home and back and forth every day, and then hunt and look for a space.
It was
Heather's great people. I love Heather.
In fact, I saw
That's
you
awesome.
guys at the Tap Iron having a dinner.
Yes, Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the last night of the con. Yeah, she joined me
Yeah.
for dinner at the Flatiron. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I our program that we use for these live streams, it will identify points that it thinks are very exciting and suggest them as clips. Right? It'll suggest them as clips like, oh, this was good. I suggest this as clips. Like I guarantee from tonight, it's going to cut something and say, oh, you should consider this. And it's basically going to talk about Pittsburgh game stores, right? Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But the one clip that comes up, the first clip that came up was, it's a scandal at EggCon. That's what it was called. And it was the clip of Heather appearing in the room because I was yelling, it's scandal, scandal. And next thing you know, that's the first thing that came up. I did send you that, right, chat?
I think you mentioned it to me.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought I sent it to you.
Yeah, she had just gotten out of her game, and we were closing the show up. And so we delayed and had her jump on with us. Always good. She always has good things to say.
She seemed a little familiar, chat.
She is a friend and a married woman. And
It's scandal.
You're terrible.
he is. There's no fruit too low for him.
No, there's not.
You know, I don't know how you do it, Chet, because every time I talk to Ron, he's got to sneak in some way to bust balls. And I got to imagine for as much as you deal with him, it's probably nonstop.
So I worked in a lot of blue collar jobs. I worked in a printing factory, various different things. So I'm used to the ball busting, constant riding people's asses. So yeah, Ron and I have a good time.
I spent 25
Sometimes
years.
Ron thinks I'm more offended than I really am. I'm just playing the role, but
Yeah, it's funny because you can't offend me with ball busting. I mean, you could try, you could think you might, but 25 years in a prison, no.
yeah,
You know,
I mean,
and the coworkers were worse than the inmates. So
yeah. And when I got out of my stretch in prison, I was pretty hardened.
yeah, mine was working, but
No, I'm only kidding. Anyway.
I know.
Yeah. Well, my husband loves to troll me, so he's always.
Whoa. PG-13 show. Get us demonetized.
He does. If you ever watch our streams,
I
I don't know where this
Don't
one's going.
cross streams.
didn't know you guys were German.
Wow.
So our head of security for Page and Concoction, people don't even know he's the head of security because we don't really have what I like to call security. Like we have staff, right? But the person who oversees security is a guy, is a friend of mine named Rich Genslinger, and he was a lieutenant. He was a CO lieutenant in the state prison system in New Jersey. So at Concoction, a lot of the security people hired by the city who were there, they were like gun-toting security at Concoction. They were like patrolling. I'm like, don't patrol. You're scaring people. You don't need to patrol here. But they were all like, ex-COs and this and that. So I was like, listen, there's a guy here. He's going to tell you he was a CO. But really, he was a student at the jail. You know what I mean? A student. He was a student for about 20 years. Not retired from there, paroled from there. Like, I let all the security guards know this, and like he's going around like, oh yeah, I just retired. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And they're all looking at him, then looking at me, and I was having a hard time keeping a straight face. He's like, what what's going on? Why are they all acting so weird? I was like, I don't know. No idea, Rich. And then he comes to me. He's like, did you tell them I was an inmate? I was like, I never used the word inmate. I said student.
There you go. Hey, I'm going to have to jump. You guys have a great time. It was good seeing everybody.
All right, Ed. We'll see you later.
Have a good one,
Hi,
Ed.
Ed.
Bye, Ed.
Okay. So we're gonna let Jason come up with a trivia question tonight so we can give away a $25 Troll Lord Games website certificate.
Oh, good Lord. Shit. You should have told me before we came on the show. Put me on the
No,
spot.
that's the whole point. The questions are supposed to be terrible.
I don't know. You're killing me.
I mean, the question could be something that you talked about during the show. See if people remember what you were talking about.
And we could always default to name 4 combos who go to conventions.
Okay, something I talked about earlier in the show. What was my earliest memory?
All right. So if you want to get a $25 Troll Lord Games web certificate, Jason Vey spoke about his earliest memory of RPGs earlier in the show. What was it?
It was just in general.
It wasn't
about
RPG,
RPGs.
Oh, it was
It wasn't about
just in general. Oh, I'd failed this. I wouldn't
Yeah,
get
it was
$25.
about
3 years
as a
old.
hint, it was about sci-fi geekery, but it was not about RPGs.
Watching Star Wars in the theater, says
That is
Devin
it.
the Dam.
That is
Oh,
it.
well,
You
there
got
it is.
Got it.
He paid
Devin,
attention.
if you could shoot me on Facebook, perhaps your email address, and I'll get you over a code for Troll Lord Games, and you'll have $25 to spend. Maybe you can get a finely crafted or written Chuck Combo product. Howdy ho, neighbor.
I'll see you in the bar later, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see you in the bar. Ron, are you doing a party again? Are you doing a page party again at Gamehole this year? Are you doing a page party? That's what he asked me last time he called me. You know what I said to him? I said, Chuck, where are your events for Page? That's what I said.
You got to have Chuck on the show and then do your impression of him the whole show.
I do that. I do that anyway, you know. You're welcome, Devin. We're glad that you were able to win. So, a little side note. So, our Down the Dark Stairway event. There's some beautiful artwork by Chet there.
Nice.
Looking awesome. This is actually our banner for the event as well.
Chet, are you doing death certificates this year?
So I did a death certificate for DM Leo or Leo Giral. I have not made ones for Paige because Ron kind of made a face like, I don't know about that.
We need some.
The death certificate is their character sheet.
Well, I know for the Walhalla, we're making a sign for the Walhalla.
I don't want to overwhelm you. You already have a map to do. I don't want to overwhelm you with death certificates.
I'm going to do the Walhalla picture before I do the map.
No. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Hmm.
And don't tell me how you're doing work for Jason Elliott either. Ixnay on the Jason Elliott A.
Well, that's not till August.
Now, chat. Now, Ron, you have to share chat because he does
Wow.
art for everybody.
But this is for Orange Cat Games. Chet is
Okay.
a partner in Orange Cat Games.
Yes.
Yes.
So
But he doesn't have an orange cat.
he'll
Listen,
be able to juggle Orange Cat Game stuff
Yes.
and his other stuff.
Yet.
I just saw on Facebook tonight that somebody local in my little town of 4,000 people found a whole bunch of orange kittens and they're trying to get rid of them.
Aw.
I have an orange cat. They're freaking crazy. This cat, my wife rescued him. He was in the middle of the road, 5 weeks old as a kitten. His eyes were all gunked over, covered in fleas and mites.
Aw.
We got him all cleaned up, got him to the vet, ended up keeping him. He is now the fattest cat you've ever seen. We tried to put him on a diet, and really, Ron?
That's exactly what happens when I'm the white one asking for where the map is, and then there's Chet.
Yeah. Well, so we put this cat on a diet, and they told us to give him wet food, and he stopped eating. Completely stopped eating.
Aw.
And then shut down. His liver shut down, everything shut down. He was bad shape. Took him to the vet, and they're like, well, usually when they get to this point, there's no coming back from it. Once they stop, it's kind of irreversible. They said we could try. We could keep him here $300 a day and force feed him several times a day every 2 hours. So I decided to do it myself because I'm retired. And I'm like, well, I can do this. And she's like, it's a lot of work. Yeah, 2 hours a day. Every 2 hours, I would take a can of wet food and mix it with water into a slurry, into a syringe, and feed this cat.
Yeah.
And it took about a month and a half, and that cat started eating on his own. He's as fat as always now. He recovered.
That's
Doing
great.
But I was like, okay, no more diet. I guess he's just going to be fat and lay around. He's huge, enormous.
He's orange enormous.
So he's
Enormous.
So he's a chunk.
He is a chunk, yeah.
Yeah.
That's everybody's reminder to subscribe to the channel while you're here. It only takes a minute to go on the Facebook and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Chet, our Kickstarter for Orange Cat Games is doing pretty well.
Yeah. Yesterday was a good day. Was that yesterday or the day before?
The day before.
Yeah.
Are you over the $5,000 mark?
Yeah, we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
We
we're
are.
close to 5,500, I think.
Wow.
We went backwards a little bit today. I think we lost a backer somehow.
I think they changed their pledge.
No, we lost one back.
Oh, lost them?
Yesterday somebody changed their pledge, but
Yeah.
but today we lost a backer somewhere.
That's the nature of the game. That'll happen. Kickstarters.
Yep.
I know that I changed my pledge when I
Yeah,
found
you
out
lose
that
especially during.
when I found out that you guys were also offering a PDF if you bought the book.
Yep.
I added it.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, it's good.
Especially when you're in the middle of a Kickstarter, the long slog in backers, as much as you gain them.
Sure.
So
I didn't think you were doing
you
a
get
PDF.
a bunch at the beginning
I
and
thought
at
you
the
said-
end, and then in the middle there's the.
We were getting so much feedback that people wanted a PDF. What we did is we said that it's an add-on. So if you get the physical book, you can add a PDF.
I got you.
But we're not just
Jen Glazer told him to do it, so he did it.
I almost didn't believe it because I said to John, I'm like, they're not doing a PDF. Ron said that he doesn't want it. He's like,
I really don't like. I really would like to do physical products. but you know, from a so many people were like, I want a PDF, that we put it out there. So
Yep. Give the people what they want, right?
but once they get the book into their hand, they're going to be like, oh, well, I just want the book, because the book's it's a nice, sturdy, thick book with, we didn't go on the cheap side. We didn't do Judges Guild newspaper print. So, Jennifer,
What?
you just yawned.
Shh. Maybe no one let me know when they noticed.
Everybody saw it, Jen.
Oh well.
Now everybody's yawning. Oh,
I heard it.
My cat's walked
Sorry.
behind me, apparently.
Yeah, there was a kitty in.
I saw one in that club, whatever that room.
Was it
back
the black
there
one
is.
or the silver one?
It was a black one, or it looked black.
That was T'Challa.
The tail.
Yeah, we have a black cat T'Challa, and we have an old man silver tabby named Finnegan.
All right. Did everybody subscribe? Did we get some subscribers? We'd like to get some subscribers if we could. So, all right. What do you guys want to leave us with tonight? We'll let Mike lead that off. What do you want to leave the audience with?
I just can't wait to see everybody at Page. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
Other than that, I got nothing going on. I just work on painting and printing and getting through my summer and teaching 2 kids how to drive to get their license before school starts next month.
Oh, that's fun.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Only one of them even has their permit right now. The other one doesn't even turn 18 till mid-September. So I'm going to be driving him to school for the first freaking month.
They don't do buses anymore.
Oh, it's college.
Oh, it's
college. Yeah, my daughter started college last year. My son's starting this year. My daughter did not like the school she was at. She changed her major. They're both going to be going to school locally, different schools, but both locally here. So, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm like, guys, I'm not driving you both to school every day. It's not happening. You're 19 now. You need to get your license.
And then you fast forward a month, and there's Mike driving
Neil.
his kids to school.
Well,
Neil?
my
Neil says he's got a 16-year-old on his bed. Should we be concerned?
16-year-old cat, he says.
His
Come on.
cat. Yeah.
Cat. Come on, those jokes aren't even funny.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of joke.
Yeah.
Well,
Cancel Neil right out.
we listen. There was a pretty good joke. I had a pretty good joke of somebody trying to grab a lollipop from the back of Chet's van.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's confirming it's Cat, Emma. I'm so excited, says Neil.
You got to be careful, Ron. There are so many younger generations into gaming now that may not be able to handle the sarcasm and constant ball busting that you do.
Listen, I have millennials that work for me.
Yeah.
They are terrified of me.
My kids are surprisingly just as sarcastic as I am. They've
Yeah,
gotten right into it.
I was
you
giving,
raised
I
them
was,
right.
I
Yeah.
was giving your daughter a hard time at a convention. I was breaking her stone. She was
Yeah.
she was good with it.
She takes it fine.
Yeah,
But my kids grew up with this. I mean, I got a game room here, tabletop gaming, arcade machines. I mean, sometimes they might get a little, might think it's a little bit much, but man, it's like all 80s in this house. And that comes along with all the ball busting and sarcasm too, because that's how we all grew up. So they get it too. I don't know if their friends could take it, but they can at least.
Oh, we did pick up some subscribers. Thank you. I
Good,
appreciate that, everyone.
Good.
He did. He says he did it at SagaCon, yeah, in Salem, Massachusetts. It was a good convention.
I wish I had known about it earlier. I saw his post about it and I'm like, oh, I want to go. But it was like Saturday afternoon. So
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
out in
well, maybe.
Wisconsin. Yeah, Dale from Duck
My
and
turn?
Crow was part of that, and oh, sorry, yes,
Yes,
Jason.
yes, your turn.
That's
He's like,
okay.
get me the hell off of here. By the way, Jason, Michael, just one thing before you
Yes.
guys go. I think everybody should know this. Did you see that Henry Winkler got arrested today?
No, stop.
Again?
For what?
For a Fonzie scheme.
It's so tired, Ron.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
all right. Here, I'll upgrade it.
I'll do the koala one.
I'll upgrade it. Like, why did the koala not get the job he applied for?
I'm afraid to ask.
The company said he was underqualified.
Lame.
I think your cat's carrying something.
So, anyways,
Moving on.
my next appearance is going to be at Pittsburgh Gaming Expo in October, first weekend in October. So I'll be there if anybody wants to make a trip out to Pittsburgh. It's a very cool convention. Started off as an old school video game convention, and now they're branching out into tabletop RPGs. So it's a super cool con. And then I'm also really excited to be at Page next year. Check out, if you are not familiar with my stuff, check out my website at elflair.com and take a look at my games.
Yeah, you have quite a few games.
Oh, they got arcade stuff there too, huh?
At
Pittsburgh.
PGX, yes, they do. There's a gigantic free play video arcade. Oh, there comes Finn again. Hi, Finn.
He's a good boy.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I really need to get out there for Pinburg sometime. Have you been to Pinburg?
I have not been to Pinburg. No, I'm not a big pinball player. I like video games. I'm terrible at pinball.
Yeah.
But when I say I like video games, I like old video
Like
games.
those?
I don't do.
There you go, brother. There you go.
Get my camera to set right.
Yeah, that's my
I've
jam
got
right there. I don't do these new complicated computer games that require a 300-page walkthrough because I missed a panel in the laboratory. Just give me Frogger and Ms. Pac-Man.
What's that on the TV behind, over your right shoulder? Is that like Berserk?
That is Berserk. Yes, playing. It's the Atari 2600 Berserk playing on my ColecoVision.
Yeah.
My favorite system ever was the NES.
NES.
That was
See, I don't even go that
Yeah,
high. I have a Sega Genesis. That's the newest I have, which was
Same era as NES.
around the same time as NES.
yeah, Sega was pretty cool. But NES was my first love.
Actually, Sega 8-bit or 16-bit? Sega's 16-bit, isn't it?
Sega is
SNES.
Sega Master System was 8-bit, and then the Genesis was 16-bit, and they put out a 32-bit expansion for the Genesis. Yeah. So, but I have three Atari, two Atari 2600 pluses, an Atari 7800 plus, and three ColecoVisions. So that's my game consoles.
Cool.
Nice.
case anybody missed it, we're going to be letting these two guys go. I don't see any other questions, but thank you both for joining us tonight. We got a couple other things we're going to do before we go off the air. But Mike and Jason, thank you very much.
Great
Thanks,
to see you guys
Always
again.
good
Thanks
to
for
see you
having
guys.
us, guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us. Yeah.
All right. It's just the three of us.
Just the three of us.
Jen's not dancing. Why aren't you
No.
dancing? The Chet was singing.
Yeah,
Oh, like this? I'm not a really good dancer, so
Just got to
Oh,
sway
okay.
with it.
I'll sway. How's that?
I think you were swaying already from all the alcohol.
Do we need to call her husband? I think she's having a seizure.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So, concoction, June 25th to the 27th of next year.
Huh? Oh, June. Yes.
Of June. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. If you are a vendor and you're thinking about coming to Page, time is running out. There is one table left and it's only a table in the small business area. And there are, I think, 5 booths left in the main vendor hall in Hall D. And that is with a booth having recently opened up as Heidi Gygax and Eric Garland. They're only going to come as guests. They're not going to vend this year. So they're going to come as guests and run games. So that's where that's at. So put in now. I can tell you we did add a couple of vendors recently. One of which is an interesting one. It's called Camden Comics, and it's a small comic book publishing house that runs right over the river in New Jersey, very close to the convention center. And I spoke with the owner because somebody tipped me off that he had a booth out at San Diego Comic-Con. I reached out to him and had a conversation yesterday, and I'm happy to report that Ryan Brady from Camden Comics is coming. One of his comic books that people will know is he is the Skullboy publisher. So should be pretty cool to have him in the house. I can tell you that some of the special guest games have been going up onto the site. Quite a few, as a matter of fact. We're closing in on 700 gaming events right now. That'll continue to rise even after events open as people get their games in. We're expecting games from Zeb Cook this week, Harold Johnson, Scott Douglas, Little Bones 309, Darling Creepshow. Levi Combs's games went on the schedule today. So that was pretty good. There will be more games from Jim Zub on the schedule. Matt John's games are on the schedule. They're now on the schedule. So, yeah, a lot of good games on the schedule. There's games from Joey Royale on the schedule. I believe John McGuire's games have hit the schedule now. So, yeah, quite a few games on the schedule. Bob World Builder's running games.
Is he running one game or a series of games?
He's running 2 games. And he doesn't typically run games at conventions. So this is pretty cool. I'll tell you who else's games are going on the schedule. On Tuesday, after he gets back from Gen Con, Professor Dungeon Master's games are going on the schedule.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So we got to get those in by August 4th, right? Is that the
Third.
I want special guests to have their games in by the 3rd or the 4th. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, if they come in later, okay. But you know, we want to have them available for the
Yeah. When does
supporting
that?
patrons.
Yeah.
So
When does that?
next Friday, this
Oh,
upcoming
it's all right.
week
Wow.
from today.
Coming up quick.
Yeah, and then a couple of other things, because this has come up. People have asked questions about this. If you are a supporting patron, you will see this week, prior to your event selection, that you will be able to grab your seats at the cheesesteak dinner that is normally just for special guests and staff/volunteers. You will be able to get your tickets this week because they're included with your badge, but you have to reserve the seats. Additionally, gold badge holders, staff, volunteers, special guests, Wednesday night starting at 7:00. Conan the Barbarian showing on the big screen at the theater across the street from the convention center. There will be 2 showings, one at 7, one at 9:30. You'll be able to select one or the other.
That'll be on Friday, next Friday.
No, that is.
Is that the 14th?
It's neither. It's basically, it's only open to those folks.
Yeah.
So, and it's Wednesday, so it's just going to be a matter of filling out a form saying I want to go at 7 or at 9:30.
This coming Wednesday?
No, the Wednesday of the show. He's
Right.
saying we'll fill out a form at some point.
Oh, so that
saying
day.
Which showing we want to see.
Okay, I was confused because I thought we had to select it prior to. Okay.
Correct. So yeah, no, a lot of good stuff coming up over the next week, and just remember, if you want to be a vendor, apply now or forever hold your peace.
If you're thinking about being a vendor, I will tell you, you should do it. I have been very pleased by. It's not only about the money, but it's about getting a lot of people in front of your stuff, new eyes seeing the stuff, and getting feedback. It's great. It's a great show. People are hungry to see your stuff. So I would say if you're on the fence, jump on this side and get a booth.
Now there are a couple of other things here before we go tonight. I'm happy to announce that on August 28th, our guest on Friday Night Live will be Dr. Emily Zarka from the PBS program Monstrum. She's a special guest at Page this year. That's going to be just an outstanding. She's an outstanding addition. If you haven't seen the show Monstrum, go to YouTube, search Monstrum, MONSTRUM, and you'll see who Emily Zarka is. The programs are about anywhere between like 11 and 15 minutes long, and she takes you through the history of folklore regarding monsters, not just cryptids, monsters of all kinds, all the way up through pop culture, including how they appear in role-playing games and things like that. She's really a very dynamic personality, and having spoken to her on several occasions now, a really nice person, and that really shines through when she's presenting for the program. hold on. What's happening here?
I think there's 118 episodes because I'm trying to watch them all before that August 28th. While I'm working on a map for Ron, I have those playing in the background. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Oh, jeez. So one thing that, Chet is a starving artist. Chet, how much weight have you lost over the last couple of years? 187 pounds?
So from December of 2020, I have lost 193 pounds. Obviously, there's like a little back and forth, like water weight or whatever. So 4 or 5, 6 pounds of water weight.
Congratulations, Chet. That's amazing.
Hold on. It's not good. He's starving. He's lost an entire person's worth of weight.
He's not starving.
So all the more reason to back the current Kickstarter for the Adventurer Log from Orange Cat Games, which is the company that Chet and I run. Okay.
And go to Chet's website and buy his stuff because he's great.
Okay. We're talking about the Kickstarter now.
I know.
Trying to get people to
But if he's starving, people should go to his website and check him out.
Okay, I dealt with that. She was missing the whole bit. Missing the bit. But Jen, are you going to be good?
Depends.
Okay, you're back in timeout. Folks, we're really asking that you back our Kickstarter if you can. It's a useful book, lots of artwork, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. And
if you have supported it, or if this is not a project that you're interested in, please at least share it or tell people about it. We'll appreciate that. Anybody that you think might be interested in it, please send them a link or mention it to them. We'd really appreciate that.
All right.
And as Jen said, you can also go to my website, www.chetmintonartist.com, because I'm starving, apparently.
Yes. So, okay. So with all this being said, Jennifer?
Yes.
Do you want to take us out now that you've had your time out?
I suppose. Okay. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you next week. But before we go, I would love it if you checked out my website, The Blind Bard, and just took a look around. And because I'm going to be running an event at Page. It's a blindfolded event where you'll get to, your characters are blind and you'll have to interact with your character sheet by touch. And you get to use Pixels dice, so there's no braille needed or anything. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am working on the characters now. I can't wait to run it for those that are brave enough to sign up. So with that being said, thank you, and we will see you next week, same time, same place.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.